Everybody, another awesome episode here of the Wraparound by Porch. And this is a little bit of a different one that we're doing because a lot of times, again, the whole point of the show is really to tell home inspectors stories and focus on some of the really cool things that you guys are seeing and accomplishing in the field. But you really can't see and accomplish much without an incredible operating system. And as you know, ISN has been one of the sponsors of this show for a long time, since its inception. And I'm so honored to have two incredible guests on this show. These are people from behind the curtain, and I am so excited to introduce them to you guys. So we have Lindsay Grimm and we have Jana Fix. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today.
Glad to be here, Brad. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. And first, I want to have you guys introduce yourselves. Can you tell folks, Lindsay, let's start with you since you're on the left side of my screen here. Let's start with you. I would love to have you tell everybody just a little bit about who you are and how you came to join ISN.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am sort of a long-time product management person. I've done it at a bunch of different companies. So I started my product management journey at Amazon, where I did it. I really was focused on two areas. One was IMDb, if you've heard of the Internet Movie Database. I worked in that area of the company for a while. And then I moved over to Amazon Video and did some product work over there. I was at Amazon for a lot longer than that, but those were really my product stints there. And then from Amazon, I went to Starbucks and worked at Starbucks corporate and did some product work there as well in their innovation area. So I have, when you really look at it, probably 15 years of product experience. I love it. I really love just building stuff. And the reason I left kind of the big corporate companies was I don't love red tape. So one of the great things about ISN is there's very little red tape and there's lots you can do. So I really like working for a small company and working very, very closely with the engineers. So really excited to be here. I just hit my 3-year anniversary at ISN yesterday, which is
congrats.
Fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I started the day of the Porch IPO.
Nice. I actually used to work at Starbucks too, but I wasn't in corporate. I was on the ground level. I was a barista for a long time. So yeah. Honestly, such a cool company. And there's kind of some parallels here between working with ISN and working at Starbucks, is they're both very values driven, which I absolutely love. They take such great care of their people. And I've felt the same thing ever since joining over here. So
totally
awesome.
Yeah, it's a great group.
For sure. Yeah. Jana, tell everybody about yourself and your background here and what you do.
Yeah. So I've actually just hit my 1 year, or getting really close to hitting my 1 year at ISN. So I'm still a newbie. I have been in product management for about 17 years now. I haven't worked at any of the big companies, but some of the work that I have done has been around asset tracking in the trucking industry and in the food regulation compliance industry. So there's some parallels there that I think are really helpful in me, relating to the customer of ISN.
Awesome. That's amazing. And you and I have had the privilege of working together, and I've gotten to see a little bit of your handiwork. So let's actually talk about some of the incredible things that you've been developing, because one of the things that really excited me this past year was just kind of seeing so much of the engineering that went into the ISN Report Writer and the native app. So Jana, can you kind of tell me some of what's coming up down the road with that and what inspectors can be excited about using these new features in the field?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually thrilled to start talking about these products. So I'm going to start with the ISN Report Writer, because I think it's probably the number one thing that we've got that is going to blow the customer away. And our focus for 2024 is really around improving the customer experience, adding in more customization capabilities, and really being a report writer that you could come to from any place else, and you'll find your home here at ISN. So that's really exciting. So some of the things we're doing are we're going to work on some AI projects, some really cool, like maybe a common helper, an image defect tracker. So that'll be really cool. And more templates. We're working on new templates every day, so those will be kind of pushed out, starting with the wind mitigation template, then Citizens 4 And I know everyone's going to ask about WDI. That will come right after that. So that's super exciting too. And then lots of improvements in the template editor themselves, just more elements, type of elements to use. You can use checkboxes now. We're adding in radio buttons and drop downs, and basically to the point where you could build your template however you want. And
Wow.
a comment library on top of that to kind of leverage the two things together. So it's super exciting. You can tell I'm jazzed about the whole thing.
No, absolutely. And you hit on something that I think is really huge there, which is AI integration and some of what we're doing. What's that going to look like? How is automated intelligence going to really help to take some of the report writing capability to the next level?
Yeah, so I think AI, in my mind, at least when it comes to report writing, is all about saving time, and it's all about creating reference, right? So a home inspector, they're the expert. AI, I talk to a lot of them, and they say AI is going to replace me. Well, guess what? AI is not going to replace you. What it's going to do is it's going to help you do your job faster, and it's going to give you more wealth of information to be able to use in your report without having to write it yourself. So I think that's super exciting to be able to take a picture of the house, maybe a picture of a gutter, and it says, hey, there's the slope is wrong. And then it gives you 5 comments about the slope, and then you didn't do anything but know to look at the slope. So it's really exciting.
So it really just kind of helps to keep you on your game while making it easier and faster to do so. That's incredible.
Time is
So
money.
no, it absolutely is. And with a lot of the customization, that's another huge thing that I've heard so many inspectors talking about wanting is really just being able to arrange that report any way they want.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that we face there? And then what are some of the things that we're doing to overcome that to really push this technology to the field?
Yeah, so I think when we launched the first iteration of the report writer, we went out with one standardized form. And I know that now everyone's form looks the same. And so we're totally, every report can't look the same, and sort of really understanding that. However, in order to kind of create differentiation between, from my report to your report, we're going to add in the ability to add your brand colors, the ability to choose location of things, add your photo to the front, and a lot of cool things around layout, padding, and font sizes, and rounded corners and not rounded corners. Those things are all kind of going to be part of the differentiation package.
No, I love that because one of the key strengths with ISN is really the way that you can control even the minute aspects of your business. So, Lindsay, if we can get you to jump in on this too, I would absolutely love it. What are ways that this is really going to help inspectors to take their business to the next level and differentiate themselves from some of the other players in the industry here?
Do you mean sort of how ISN is going to do that, right?
Yeah.
Or do you mean not specific to the report writer?
No, just ISN in general. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I think for us, some of the key themes over in sort of the web product, which is probably where most people spend most of their time right now, our key themes are these 3 things. The first one is, how do we help inspectors earn more revenue? That's one theme. The second theme is, how do we really focus in on some of the most used features that we know people are using and also have a lot of opinions about updating? And then I think the third one is, how do we address highly requested feedback that we know has come in and we might know has been years in the making, and we haven't really been able to tackle. So those are the 3 themes for 2024. I'm not going to go super deep on any one of those right now, but let me just say that I want to come out of the gates in 2024 really attacking that first theme, which is the helping inspectors and inspection companies earn more revenue. And I think that you can think about that in 2 ways, one of which is revenue per inspection. So think about how do we offer upsells in a more natural way to inspection clients, so that they can, as they're paying for their inspection, as they're signing their agreement, they can be like, you know what, I want more. So increasing that average revenue per inspection, and then also kind of opening the doors for new types of inspections. So we've heard inspectors say having phased multi-day inspections might be something that they want to do more, and it's hard to do in ISN right now. Another one might be be re-inspections. Those can be sort of a hassle, but some folks are doing it and actually finding a lot of success with them. So yeah, just increasing the number of inspection types as well, which hopefully will also bring in more revenue. So that's really what we're thinking about and what we want to, get going right out of the gates in 2024.
No, that's amazing. And because again, if there's one thing that inspectors are really wanting to do, especially with the headwinds that the real estate market has been facing, is finding ways to really differentiate their business. So I love that you're speaking to these things, and I love that ISN is really going out of their way to kind of give inspectors just all the tools that they possibly could have to be able to accomplish this. So it's as big as you want to think. That's almost the capability that they've got at their fingers here, from what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
So. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that the interesting thing too is we do have such a flexible platform, and that's one of our key differentiators.
Yes.
That, when we look at our competitors, it's also a challenge, right? Because everybody does it in a slightly different way, which is so awesome. But when you're looking at building something brand new, you often have to build something really general that can then be applied to these really specific use cases that each company has. And that's a real product and engineering challenge. So for folks that are frustrated that some of these long-standing features or feature requests are still out there, it's not that we are ignoring you. It's that it might seem like an easier thing to do than it actually is.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's fantastic feedback from you guys. So that's really what inspectors can look forward to. Can we talk about the native app refresh that's kind of coming as well, Jana?
Totally. Yeah. Super excited. We've been spending a lot of time improving the native app. When I talk to inspectors in the field, every person I asked, are you using the native app? And the answers are either, I didn't know there was a native app, or I used it once and it wasn't very valuable to me. Or it just looks like there's nothing there at all. So we've been spending a lot of time investing in the native app and incorporating the report writer also in the native app so that we can have that stickiness there. So I think it's really exciting to relaunch the native app to everybody. And what we're going to be doing is basically focusing on the usability. Again, my number one thing, and I think it hits on what Lindsay just said about making you more money. To me, time is money, and where you have to spend time, if I can cut that down for you, and then you could do, more or, less if you want to, right? So it'll be about kind of making the most important things that you're doing in the field, because that's really what the mobile app is going to be. It's not going to be a direct replacement for ISN. It's going to be here are the things you need to do in the field to make your job better, faster, create a new appointment, write a report, the things that you need on, while you're actually in inspection in front of a customer. So it's really exciting to see what we're going to do there. One nugget of things that I think is the most kind of like the biggest thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing some basically remodeling of our calendar screen. The calendar screen, one thing that's cool is we're going to have color-coded calendars. So your inspectors have colors in ISN. Those colors will come through to the native app. You'll be able to see everyone's inspections or just your own inspections. And we're introducing the agenda view, which is a bigger, larger view of the inspection itself. And we're going to be using that all over the place in the app to create kind of a muscle memory around here's all the information I should expect from the native app. So really exciting.
Absolutely. No, that's phenomenal stuff. As somebody that's used inspection report writers of many different competitors, we'll say, previously at a previous career, I've personally getting to see even the native app as it is. I still found it very easy to navigate. I love the automatic cloud syncing features. Basically, it's like the more that I can do just from my phone, the better it is. I don't want to necessarily be lugging around an iPad. I understand iPads have their place. There's people that are very beholden to them. Bigger screens, bigger print. but especially if you're looking to like demonstrate the report, I know some inspectors like to do that, but for me, I'm kind of a less is more, compact kind of a person. And so on the one hand, yes, ISN can very easily be adapted to suit whichever tool preference you want to use. If you're a point and shoot guy, keep using your camera. If you're an iPad guy, keep using your iPad. But, for me, I love the camera quality on my phone. I love the mobility. I love not being worried about dropping something too bulky when I'm climbing up a ladder. And so, having a top of the line interface that I could work with right there on my phone is just so stinking phenomenal. So, I'm really excited to hear about that and even get to see it in use. So.
Yeah, me too.
Fantastic. So let's give the listeners one takeaway that they should be looking to do to improve their business in 2024. Since we're all kind of thinking towards New Year's now, we're all kind of thinking, how can we take ourselves and our businesses to the next level? Lindsay, let's start with you. What's something that an inspector could be doing to really level up in the new year?
I would say, just because it's like a recency bias thing because I've been thinking about it over the past week. But I think this idea of service and package upsells, and I mentioned it earlier a few minutes ago, is a big thing. Like if you're not doing that now, it's a really good opportunity, and it should be a very light lift to get that up and running, so that you can give your customers a chance to sort of like, spend more per inspection, and so that would be my one recommendation of something you could do literally right now if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And Jana, how about for you?
From a report writer side, I would love to see customers invest in building their own templates. I think we're building some standard out of the box templates, and I think they're great. But the more you put your touch on it, the more it resonates with your business. It becomes a brand. And so I think that would be a great thing to do.
Fantastic. No, well, that's fantastic advice from both of you. I'm so excited about what's to come. Thank you guys both for really sharing about what you all are working so hard on behind the scenes here. I'd say, and I see the level of excellence that you guys are really putting into everything that you're putting out. So it's awesome that we kind of get to give listeners and our users a look behind the scenes as well. So Lindsay, Jana, thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for listening. And seriously, if you're a user of ISN, we appreciate you so much. I hope you can hear the care and the excitement that are just in these lovely people's voices here, and the excellence that they're really bringing to their roles. And all of this is so that you can absolutely do the best possible job that you can for your clients out in the field. So if you have any questions, feel free to forward them to me at bradleylowry@porch.com. I'm happy to pass them along, and we'll get you guys the help and solutions that you need. So, and if you want to be on the show, again, I always keep pushing this. Send me an email. We would love to get you on the show and tell your stories from the field. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you right here next time on the Wraparound by